Hey everybody, welcome back to Around the Emirates podcast with Sara Mousa, where I speak to guests from across UAE about topics you want to hear about. Today I have a very multifaceted guest, Gina Dillon. Welcome to the show, Gina.
Oh, thank you, Sarah. I'm so happy to be here.
I am so happy to have you here. So I have a really good reason why I brought Gina onto the show today. She is the trifecta. She is a avid community activist. She is also an entrepreneur and she's an inventor. How does one have the time for all this? I don't know, but we're about to find out. Gina, please tell me all about your impact on the community. Give me an example of your inventor projects and, of course, how you are becoming an entrepreneur.
Okay, let's see. Well, it all goes back to 2012 whenever I arrived in the Emirates. And, I started one of the Facebook groups at that time, and I was also a blogger. So I am actually one of the original bloggers from Abu Dhabi. And so at that point, the blog was actually called, thank you, the Abu Dhabi PTA. And yeah, which stands for Parent Teacher Association. And I was on the association at Jim's American Academy. And so basically it was, the purpose of the blog was to write humorous stories telling everybody who wanted to read about, the life here in Abu Dhabi. And basically, shifting over here from the United States and some of the things that, I was encountering and how different the culture is and how, just my experience through that, how much I was learning. And so that's kind of where it all started. And then the more I learned, the more I found like these gaps in the community. And you have to remember, this was really before there was any sort of, Abu Dhabi relied upon Facebook groups in order to be able to do anything at that point. There was no other real source of information for anything. So if you wanted to find out, how to do anything, basically, you needed to go to a Facebook group. And so my first Facebook group was UAE Housemaids. And basically, I found that there was a lack and there was a gap here for housemaids to be able to find sponsors, good sponsors. And so I created this group for that reason. And it became very popular. It had over 20,000 members in the group. And I just wanted people to be able to connect. I also wanted housemaids to be able to find not only good families, that treated them like a member of the family, but also for these ladies to be able to understand what their rights were. And so yeah, it was a good welcoming sort of group. And then off of that, I started Free Cycle Abu Dhabi, which later became Free Me Abu Dhabi, and it's one of Abu Dhabi's largest groups. It has about 90,000 people, and it is for humanitarian and environmental reasons. So basically, if somebody has something that they no longer want, they can just post it, and someone who is in need will come and pick it up. And so this group was established in 2013. And then in 2018, I rolled into WEEDS, which is Women Entrepreneurs Abu Dhabi. And that is kind of where my inventor thing started. I had an idea 20 years ago, and I came up with it in the United States. And basically what I wanted to do is I wanted to reinvent the old-fashioned granny trolley, the shopping cart, the personal shopping cart. I felt that what it needed to be more stylish, it needed to be more functional, and it needed to be something that people actually wanted to use, that it was user friendly. So it was one of those projects. It's like, it was in the back of my head for a long time, but motherhood and moving around and switching countries and everything else, kind of backburnered that. So in 2018, I decided I was going to do something about it. And I, took the idea out and I started, just started processing it and working it through the channels and trying to find manufacturers and trying to find a designer and all of those things. But I found within this process that entrepreneurship is a very, very lonely thing to do. And so there didn't seem to be a support group here in Abu Dhabi for women, who wanted to start businesses, not just manufacturing like I'm doing, but any sort of business. And so I decided to create WEEDS. And right now we have almost 5,000 members. And so I'm really, really proud of Weeds. Yay, yay, yes. I'm super proud of Weeds because, Weeds is a free group. Anybody can join for free. And basically what we do is we just share information, we support each other. And it can be anyone who has an aspiration to do something, an entrepreneurial, project, or women who have been established for a long time. So there is a wide range of ladies that are in the group. And yeah, I'm super proud of this group.
That is amazing. I can't believe you've done so much in such a short period of time and across so many different categories. Like you are helping people in every possible way. You're not only helping to inspire people, but you're helping people to actually, you're giving them a platform to do what they need to do, to talk, to create companies, to get the help that they've needed and for so long, I can imagine. So I love the fact that you have done something that has really just been good for people. And that's why I'm so excited to have you on the show today. And you mentioned one of the things that you just mentioned that really caught my interest was talking about the loneliness of being an entrepreneur. Talk to me about some of the challenges
Yes.
you may have faced in these experiences and how you overcame them.
It is entrepreneurship is a tough road. It is a really tough journey. And especially if you're a mother, I think, because your priorities are different. You have priorities to children, if you have children, to your husband, to the home and everything else. So, your own aspirations and, I guess, this entrepreneurial journey a lot of times gets backburnered, and women there's like a broad range of women entrepreneurs here. I mean, there's women who only want, just enough money for school meals for their children, and then there's other women on the other end of the spectrum that want to make a lot of money, and so the organization, it kind of is a big umbrella for all of these women. So some of the challenges that I personally have faced, in my journey of entrepreneurship is that lack of information, and especially in manufacturing, because basically I had a concept and nothing else is like it. There is nothing else like it on the market today. So I had to take this concept and design this concept, find something that was going to work, find a manufacturer, and it was just every single step that I took was difficult. Honestly, this was the most difficult thing that I have ever done was this project. And so my company is called the Cruzy Company, and my product is called Cruzy. And as I said, there's nothing like it on the market today. And so along with all of these steps, that are very difficult, I have got to educate the public on why they need my product. Why do you need it? And so it's just not easy at all.
I like the fact that you touched on something that may not be expected from an entrepreneur. Like obviously the idea of starting a company is finding a gap in the market and creating a product to fulfill that demand. But the fact that you just talked about finding the right information and making sure that you not only it's because what you're selling is a whole new type of product. This isn't like a variation of a special type of desk for your workspace or a different type of phone. You're creating something totally new, and not only are you doing something totally new and having to find the resources to support you in that process, you're also trying to convince people why they would need this new product that has just not existed before in this way. So I think that it's incredibly inspiring that you took such a risk, and I love that. And I mean, I'm just curious, in the creation of this product, has anything kind of unexpected come up in your journey? Did you feel something happen that you were like, wow, that was so surprising?
Was that so surprising? Geez, I mean, there's lots of little things that was surprises, there's so many lessons to be learned, within this entrepreneurial journey. And I think one of the surprises, if I have to call it a surprise, is that, because innovation has become such a buzzword, and there is so I hate to say that it's a buzzword because, obviously lots of things have sprung off of that. I mean, because I have a master's in creative innovation. Okay. And I got my master's back in 2010 or 29, I think is whenever I graduate. Not quite sure. But you see, that's when it was ahead of its time. So whenever I went to talk to people about creativity and innovation, they're like, yeah, right. Yeah, right. Nobody wanted to hire me to teach this subject because it's like, no, 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 we're not interested in that. And then everything caught up. By that time I'm over here in the UAE, but I lost my train of thinking. But anyway, yeah. So yeah, it's, oh, I know what I was going to say. The buzzword, because it did become a buzzword. Everybody wanted to use the word innovation in absolutely everything, whether it pertained to their product or not. They want to use the word innovation. So and what it did is it created a lot of noise out there. So as an entrepreneur, you actually have to filter through all of this noise, and all of these money-making scams and stuff. And it's very, very easy to be able to fall into that and to sign up for subscriptions you don't need, or, hook your wagon to somebody, that's really not working in your best interest, or, it's just not a good partner, which did happen to me, actually. I lost significant money by, hiring somebody that just wasn't good for me. We weren't a good fit. And so there's so many lessons to be learned in this entrepreneurial journey. And so when you say what kind of surprises, yeah, the costly surprises and lots of surprises, actually.
No, I love that. I love it. I love the fact that you said that innovation is such a buzzword. That is so true. I mean, I work in PR myself, so I understand like the buzzwords that are used. And obviously, like there's a lot of things that come out of your pocket when you start your own company. So you have to obviously make the sacrifices from a personal perspective as well. And I love the fact that you are managing expectations for kind of young, inspiring or aspiring entrepreneurs. And on that note, is there any kind of word of advice you'd like to leave for listeners that are looking to kind of start their own project?
I think the word of advice is just persistence and consistency, because I get up every day and I do what needs to be done, whether I'm doing it on a volunteer basis or I'm doing it for my own company. I actually have two companies, but I do what needs to be done every single day, and not only that, if I say I'm going to do something, I do it, And so I think that there's a lot of people out there, oh, I'm going to start my company. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And it's like, if you want a successful company, it doesn't work like that. You have to put in the work. You got to show up every single day with a positive sort of attitude, and that makes all the difference in the world.
That is the most perfect answer I've heard to that question. I'm not even kidding. Like the fact that you are so inspired and so motivated to continue to just even discipline yourself to make sure that you do show up every day, you do stick to your commitment, you are following through on your promise you're making, not only to your client base, but to yourself. And I love the fact that you are sharing that word of wisdom with everybody else of like, if you want to do it, you can't bail on it, you can't flake. This is your own project. You have to see it through. So I've learned so much talking to you today, Gina. Thank you so much for your time.
Oh, thank you, Sarah. I appreciate it. It was lovely talking with you.
Thanks, Gina. Take care, guys. Bye.